everybody! Woo! I just held my breath for like 5 minutes, or at least it felt like that. All right. Hello and welcome everyone to session 13 of Tales from the Known Lands. Who knows what we're gonna do this time? It's a big mystery. We never know, and we always get off track, and we always take way too long to do simple tasks. But that's Dungeons and Dragons, ain't it?
Yeah.
Does anybody
Woo.
have any announcements before we begin? Gabba, anything about the art poll, the portrait poll?
It's 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 coming along. It's
It's
coming
coming
It's
along.
along.
coming along.
Do we have a winner, or do we know the winner yet?
I have not checked it since I have been very busy and forgot it was a thing. But I
Big
can
mood.
check it right now and we'll see who won. So I do have
Everybody
the
quickly
thing
go cast
open.
your votes.
Quickly.
Yeah, if you
Quickly
haven't
go
voted yet,
vote.
gotta
Yeah.
do it quick. I think you know who it's gonna be though.
15 seconds.
Oh, it's split right now. There is no winner. It's between Al and Aster. So
Woo!
Right now, vote. Someone.
right now.
Shit, did I vote?
All right. Well, we are going to get started then.
Someone in chat said
Yeah.
that you are very quiet.
I just set up my everything again yesterday and haven't really had time to mess around with stuff. I can see my audio input level is super low for whatever reason, and I don't know why. But we march ever forward.
Just shout very
Yeah.
loudly. Saundra is going to be yelling the entire game today.
All right.
Hello, followers of Badger Bongwater.
We are a cult.
Awesome. So let's
Yeah,
get started.
yeah. Recap.
Recap?
Recap. Oh, I've almost forgotten. Um,
Rachel, you're
Rachel, I know
muted.
you were away from your notebook for a while. You're also muted.
You're muted.
Um, I know you're away from your notebook for a while, but would you like to do the recap, our fellow
I remember
recap
last week, so I
specialist?
can definitely do the recap again. But I
Swag.
finally got my notes back. So last week we were resting up after our big battle, and then ended up spending the majority of our session handing out letters to each of the respective townsfolk that we thought would be the best to either be on the council or at least kind of like coerce them to be on the council by starting a little brunchin or breakfast for talking about what's next for the town. Uh, During that, or near the end of handing out all these letters, Drez got a little visit from someone from their past. So we are currently getting out of, I think, resting while being extremely stressed about time and trying to get what we want to do done, but we also gotta jump and bounce and go to the capital.
Yes, I think that was the plan.
All right, so we can pop back in with you guys, well rested, and the how's the brunch situation looking? How's the preparation? Who's working on what?
Um,
I'm definitely doing place setting.
yeah. I'm doing like eggs, eggs and bacon at the stove with what I
Um,
can.
I am setting the table and making everything look very nice.
I'm like decorating the chairs and like finding pine cones and making like a centerpiece for the table. Yeah.
I'm helping Sonder with that, especially if there are like flowers around the area. I'm gonna go around and pick flowers for a nice little bouquet to add to the centerpiece.
It's a lot of wildflowers around because Wyatt was not really one for tending to the garden.
That's
But there's
fine with
a
me.
beautiful, colorful selection.
That's wonderful. Just like
I
home.
think Al. I was just gonna say, I think Al is like she's writing down everything that she knows about like towns run by merchant councils, and like here's one way that it's been structured that my family's a part of, but here's a different way that also works, and like writing up some proposals they can look at.
I think
Uh,
Aster is sweeping and then making a fruit salad.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Because you mentioned that you were taking care of placements and stuff like that. Are you also picking out where everyone's going to sit, or are you leaving that up to the future council?
That's a wonderful question. I think he's treating it like a wedding and is like this person has to sit here because of the people that they're sitting next to, and I want this person to sit next to Monty and this person to sit next to Aster, and I want this person to be as far away from Dresdor as possible. I think it would probably be like a long banquet table,
Mm-hmm.
and so I would have to choose not only who's next to each other but who's across from one another,
Ooh.
and then who's going to be at the head of the tables, or the head and the end of the table. But those ones I'm saving till last.
All right. And with that, as you guys are preparing the room for the morning brunch, people begin to arrive, and it's pretty much kind of everyone arriving within a very short time of each other, since they are essentially all coming from the same spot, and Wyatt's house is a little walk away. And you see the bread man is there with like a basket of different baked goods. And Hilda brings some stuff to drink, but it's mostly everyone is like walking, very carefully observing the breadman basket. Because that's just the most important part. Clearly, right after forming a council is the breadman bread.
Yes.
And they kind of like they're just milling around. You see that there's a lot of people just kind of standing off to the side, like looking around the building as they come to the door, with this kind of like unease of, oh, this used to be Wyatt's place. It's a little bit scary looking at it, even though he's not there anymore. Um, and I think Alexander takes the kind of helm of like knocking at the door. Uh,
I open the door. Welcome!
uh, hello. So this is first council meeting or pre-council brunch.
Yes. Come have a seat. I think Sonder has picked out seats for everybody.
You're third from right that one.
Okay. You kind of start taking places, like looking at the little seat placements, being like, okay, here's my spot. Here's my spot.
No, I haven't given you a place yet. Don't sit down.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to just stand, or will I get a seat later?
Is Bethany here?
Hi.
I have to pin you in. I have to restart everything. Do you want to? Never mind.
I
Sit in
have
the
a tray.
conversation pit.
I have a tray of deviled eggs. I'm like, Al, pass these around.
Here you are.
They're just like scrambled eggs on toast. Not deviled eggs at all. It's a delicacy.
Amazing.
Where I'm from.
Bethany and Philip just standing off into the corner waiting for their seats to get assigned, just like get some toast. So do any of you have an idea of what running a council is supposed to look like?
I'll kind of dump my tray back into Monty's arms and be like, okay, so hi, you don't have to do any of this. This is all, you could do whatever you want. But, and I like bring out like a stack of papers probably and be like, but my family kind of is on a merchant council for like the whole country. It's like a whole thing. So I got a rundown of like how other places do it. So if you want to model it or like how they got started. So here's just a stack of papers for you to look at and decide and do research on, but you don't have to do it. It's just a proposal. Okay, I'm gonna go, does anybody need anything to drink? And I like run into the kitchen and like get some coffee, tea ready.
You see that Hilda takes up the stack of papers and just starts like passing it around of like bits for people to read through. She just goes, "This is complex. This is pretty smart."
Well, Al is very smart.
Are the Fae people coming to also eat with us, or are they sticking in the forest?
Sonder,
What?
is your Fae friend coming? Do you have to summon her or something?
Should be. I don't know. She's sitting next to you and me.
Okay.
Oh, they must be on their way. I hope.
Where
Alright,
is your
everyone.
glowing orb?
Please, it's us. It's still up in the sky, Dresdor. I never got it down. I just still don't know how. All right, everyone, please refer to the list. Okay. At the head of the table, we have Dresdor. You'll be sitting at the far end, facing the door. Al, you'll be sitting at the other end, facing away from the door. Do not sit next to Dresdor. That is for Alexander, and for the Dryad, for the Fey representative. Bethany, you'll be sitting next to your brother. I will be sitting on the other side of the Fey representative. Monty, you'll be sitting next to me. Victoria, you'll be sitting next to Monty. Hilda, you go over there next to Al. And Philip, you're going to sit across from Hilda. And Breadman, you fill the last spot.
Where's Asta sitting?
Oh, Asta, you're in the middle. Asta, you're right in the middle across from Monty.
Yeah.
Just start like walking around the table, trying really hard to get it right on the first try. You're just listing all these placements.
No, Alexander and Bethany, you switch.
Is it that important that we sit on the?
Just go with it.
It is incredibly important.
I will take my seat at the head. Very confused.
You're the furthest away from everyone.
What does that mean?
You're next to the two people you like the most.
I guess.
Oh, not the Fae.
Yeah, right? We didn't get off on a good foot.
Guys, it's fine. It's great.
Sonder, Badger Bongwater kind of like comes up to you with his little feet sticking to the floor and just like pulls on your sleeve.
Oh, God. You've ruined everything, Badger Bongwater.
Badger, do you want to come sit up over here? You can be at the head with me.
Is there a kitty chair anywhere? You can go sit in a kitty chair next to Dresdor or Asta or whoever you like the most. Drama.
you see he kind of like looks between you, and then starts mumbling at you in Sylvan, as you're speaking to him in very complex sentences in a language he doesn't understand. Sander, are you sitting down at this point?
No, I'm running around making sure everyone is where they need to be. I'm gonna go find Badger a stool and just sit it next to Aster's chair. I know they'll probably get into hijinks, but that's part of the fun.
You come back. Badger has taken a seat at the edge of the table next to the door, just like trying to move people out of the way. He's going to sit there in his head.
No, I pick him up.
He's stuck to the chair.
Oh, I check it.
Roger.
Damn it. Al, do you mind sitting on a stool?
I can do. That's fine.
Okay, I
I'll
put
sit
the
on a
stool in Al's spot, and then I push the chair with Badger in it all the way over to Aster.
The entire time you're
I'm
doing
pretty short,
this.
so it's actually good to have. It's good
The
to have a
entire time
little
you're
height
doing
because I'm
this.
actually pretty short. So.
Badger is just giggling. He's just going off fully, just very loudly cackling. It's very unsettling to the townsfolk who are just not yet that knowledgeable of Badger and his hijinks. And then there's a knock at the door, and the dryad comes in kind of without knocking, just like opens the door and peeks in, and there's a moment of tension as the other people kind of look for the first time at a fey creature up close, just about to interact with them, and just there's a moment of just very still silence as they're kind of looking back and forth at each other. And then she says hello in Elvish, and then says hello again in Sylvan to Better Bongwater, because that is a sign of respect.
You're over there. See the man in the big fancy costume sitting at the edge of the table? You're over there. This isn't Elvish. You're right next to him. On that side.
Thank you. She kind of passes by the side of the room and takes her seat at where you pointed at where you pointed to. And there's just, as the dryad enters and takes her place, there's just an uncomfortable silence as the townsfolk kind of look at each other and back at you, trying to figure out who should speak first and what even to speak first. And like at some point, the breadman just kind of like nudges one of you and is like, is there like a special phrase to begin a council meeting? Is that somewhere in the papers?
I mean, we could do like a hit the table, like 1, 2, and then we're like in session, and then 1 and we're out. So like start it and then end it, like a gavel. You could gavel. Gaveling is fine. You hit stuff.
Okay. Who does the who's the should we take a vote for a leader or a leading person?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, yes, whatever you all want to do, we are here to help, not
If this helps, we can if you guys feel comfortable, we can mediate and or like be the people who are running this current session. However, because we're not from here, it's for the future, it would be best if you guys delegate. But this is what we're going to be talking about today. But if it's easier for you guys, we can take fully lead today.
That's good. That sounds smart. Plus, we can have it switch around weekly, daily, however often we will have council meetings.
So I guess we should get started. So basically, please correct us or like tell us if we're overstepping our boundaries, but after all of the squabbles with like having a mayor and then having like a puppet mayor for Mr. Montgomery, and then also having Wyatt running rampant in your town, there's just so much more room for corruption with just one leader. So we thought we might try to introduce the idea of a council where everyone's somewhat on the same level. There is no one person taking control over everything. Each one of you guys will have different positions that control different aspects of your town. However, you guys are, because it's a council, on pretty much the same level for decision making. There will be like multiple votes instead of just one person saying yes and no to everything. Is that something you guys think would the town would benefit from?
I mean, definitely, it's we've had to deal so long with people just coming in and saying what they want to say and then not asking anyone else's opinion on what the town should be doing. That the idea of a council is good. Um, Also, I think the who's sitting next to the dryad?
Restor
Okay,
and Sonder.
Yep.
I'm
okay.
assuming not Drez, Sonder is like being like the communicator
Mhm.
between them, because I cannot speak Sylvan or Elvish.
I am basically giving like the worst review of what everyone is saying.
Oh right, I forgot
I'm
Saunders
giving the Spark notes.
Elvish. Yeah, Saunders Elvish sounds like really bad
It's
Elvish.
super choppy. Yeah, it's yeah.
Um, I have a question. Do you all just speak common here?
Um. Well, I speak. I don't think I share a language with that lady over there. I do speak two other languages, but none of them are like
Okay.
cool forest
Well,
languages.
yeah, so for the future, we might consider finding somebody who speaks one or both languages for her so that you guys can communicate. Um, because obviously we're not going to be here for the next meeting. So maybe perhaps find out who can speak uh uh what Elvish is one of them, and I don't know the other one. Sando, what was the other language?
I have
Do you
absolutely
know?
no idea.
You have no idea. Doesn't what else know?
Say in Elvish to the dryad, like, hey, you are also welcome to bring one of your people who speaks common as a
Oh
translator
yeah.
with you. That is perfectly allowed for next time. You can have a translator. I say that in Elvish.
She responds back also in Elvish. That could be a wise idea. However, the one person in my court who does speak common is the one who was doing the kidnapping of the local community. So I figured it might be better to take some time before he is brought in to do translating.
Point, good point.
Yep.
What is she saying?
Oh, I I asked if she had anybody who could she could bring to translate for her, but the only person who speaks common did kid was not is not a great. They kidnapped your people. I'm sorry. So no, nothing on their end will work.
Well,
Um,
do
But
you
if anybody speaks Elvish, hey, great.
yeah, in passing, have we like actually seen any elves in this
Yeah,
city?
there's a couple of elves and half elves in town. It's just
Okay.
none of them in particular on the council right now.
Okay. I would perhaps think about maybe finding somebody who speaks the native language, somebody that you all might know better and trust, as, we know you guys, but we've also been here only for a short period of time, so we don't know everybody and those who can be trusted.
I think there's Alistair. He used to work at the down at the Roadhooder company. I think he speaks. Yeah. Okay. We'll ask him to come next time. He's not done any kidnapping to their side, so it's pretty good.
Sounds good. Um,
And Alexander kind of speaks up and he goes, how can we be certain that they're not going to possibly continue the whole kidnapping angle?
well, it seemed it was only one of them, and he's been dealt with. Like, not in a bad way. That was bad phrasing. Meaning that he's been talked to, and basically we've come down to the conclusion that he needs to stop drinking so much. So
It's on probation.
he's on probation. Um, and I'm sure if this problem becomes a thing again, you have somebody in your court who you can ask about this, and perhaps maybe you can come up with this obvious alliance, figure it out. But also, we've considered that a lot of you here are kind of depressed, and you need like some fun vibrancy in your life. And I mean, in the beginning, I will say I was a bit skeptic about Faye, but they seem pretty nice, pretty cool. They came to help with arresting Wyatt, and all they
That is
ask
true.
is the simple of just, if, like, say you're going to expand the city or anything, just don't harm the forest. That's all they are asking.
That I mean that's a reasonable request of them.
If
Sander, as
and
you're giving the Dryad the spark notes of the conversation, she kind of stops for a moment thinking. She says, we should figure out. There's one of us on the council. There's one person speaking for the entirety of the phase of the forest. But there's a lot of them, and that means if at any point they want to decide to go against us, that is not something that I can stop in a non-brutal way.
well, then
She's
I'm assuming.
she's brought up a really wonderful point that the Fae are and will be entirely outvoted if anyone on the council decides to make a decision for the forest or for the Fae. I believe what really the only way to remedy that issue would to either make some sort of deal about just we won't touch the forest no matter what, or that we bring more Fae into the council.
Some diversity. There's nothing wrong with a little diversity. Then you can see all angles in any circumstances.
It is equal. I think it. The town of Venox is expanding its borders to the surrounding forest, and thus I think equal parts should be in place in a council that decides for the whole.
Well, but if they get more votes than we get, then what if they decide to outvote us on kidnapping and making that legal?
Well, the idea would be to make an even split so that
Yeah.
like that couldn't happen.
And maybe we can have an uneven amount of people. Can we find a? Was anyone around half Forest, half Venox supporter? Anyone? No. Okay.
There's a really old guy who kind of moved out into the woods a while ago, and he's just living there in a tent. I think he's doing fishing there.
He might not want to be bothered. It sounds
Fair
like
point.
he wouldn't want to come be part of politics.
Have we met anybody who's been like strictly like super unbiased about anything?
Is that a question to me or to the party?
To you.
Unbiased.
I don't
I'd
think
say
so.
most of the people here are biased in some way.
Yeah.
The only truly unbiased person is the mayor because she has no clue what the fuck is going on.
Maybe we should put her on.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I will say you do have a mayor, and she is a little slow, but also it might be good to consider, you know, letting her see what her people are like before she had somebody else pulling all the strings.
Well, is she going to continue working as mayor? But if we're forming a council, then what exactly is her job going to be?
Figurehead.
Think of it so, yes,
She's really good at that.
it is
She's
true.
really good at being a figurehead.
And I guess, yeah, I mean, she might be a little biased, but also, I think if you make your points correctly, I think she will go along with what sounds like needs to be done. She's kind of like, how would you say, like like, have you ever heard of the golden retriever golden retriever relationship? She's kind of like that, where it's like, ah yes, if you hype it up enough, she will be like, yes, that sounds great.
And bring wine.
And bring wine.
Her only true biases is that she likes money and she likes wine. Otherwise, she doesn't really have too many opinions on anything.
She's not even here right now, right? Isn't she gone? Isn't she off getting wine somewhere else?
Is it Friday yet?
Is it Friday
Yeah,
yet?
it's a Friday.
Yeah, it's Friday today.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, we have to drink with Marilena before we go.
That's why I didn't find her. Okay.
Yeah, I was getting ready for her wine party. Is a figurehead mayor who's been getting paid off by a company who's been strictly messing us up, who doesn't have any strong opinions besides alcohol? Is that a great person to bring on to a council?
That is true. However, it's the fact that she has that connection. If she has that connection, that means that she might have others, which would be good for your town. Even though that might not sound good sometimes, it's just you would need to speak out on what you believe is right and wrong and make that clear. It is good to have those connections.
I would also like to clarify that just because we're leaving town doesn't mean we won't be looking into rose water. I have people who I know who would like to know that Rosewater has been having shady practices, and so that they could probably do something. So don't worry too much about Rosewater at large. It's not. I'm planning on working on it. So, yeah.
Victoria kind of looks up and finishes eating her scrambled eggs because she was got a thought in the middle of eating. She says, "Speaking of Rosewater, I mean, Mr. Montgomery has been pretty much handling things around here. Did you, what's up with him? Is he going to be okay with a council, or is he gonna come here and try to make us stop doing that?"
Well,
We didn't
let's just.
exactly deal with that yet. But also, he's a small man locked in his office, and he doesn't have any control over it. We did. He's
I,
still locked in there.
I, no, he is not locked in there.
Oh.
Currently, Mr. Montgomery is on vacation. And he's made a promise to me. And if he breaks that promise, we will be back. And we will deal with him ourselves.
Drisdor, we're gonna need to talk about this after.
That's fine. We can talk about that later.
Just for my memory, did you actually let him out of the office, or is vacation just a term?
Oh no, I definitely did. I told him when, okay, small memory here. What happened was I was trying to get him out of the room so Aster could explore that office more without prying eyes. So I told him after the loud cheering of the crowd going past, I told him, "You hear that? If you don't make the right decisions, that's going to be you with them at your doorstep." So I would think about taking maybe a vacation and let the
That's
city
true.
sort itself out. And then I threatened him.
That's great.
That was terrifying and really good. That's true.
So-
You see, just like Hilda like looks over at you as you're talking, just kind of gives you a look of like vacation.
It's a vacation. Just know this, if he returns with a sour attitude, just gather the rebellion again and show up at his door.
Sour attitude.
You do have a really good town for group participation, so it shouldn't be that hard.
You really do.
True. And everyone's so into it now that we brought Wyatt down, and you guys were really awesome, and we had like, the whole deal.
Yeah.
And speaking of Wyatt, are we voting on what happens to Wyatt too?
I mean, it
We
is up to
should probably. Yes, it is up to you. However, I will give you this piece of advice. You could kill him, and it would be over. However, if you keep him alive and make him repent for what he did, his suffering will last longer than if you just offed him.
Could always also put it up to a town vote.
That is true.
Let the people decide.
I
He
think you
could
could.
stay locked in a cell for the rest of his life. You could have him do what is it? Community service for the rest of his life.
Or you
You
could.
could do a mix of both.
You could burn him alive because there's imagery in that.
Ponder.
What?
Oh,
It would be so ironic.
Just like a wave of rolls over the table and play that.
What?
The breadman awkwardly laughs.
I would
You could also bring him to a city with a jail, and strike up a partnership, and you don't have to kill him. So
That could be smart because we don't really have anywhere to keep him if he's gonna be in jail because we just have like that one cell.
Yes. It might be another thing to consider. For one, if you do make the deal with the Fae, you do have that little bit of a protection, but also it might be good to consider finding out who you want to be armed to protect your city. With that, I believe we found a bunch of like old rusty metal here, Victoria. I'm sure that it is that we are all fine with parting with it, so that if you would like to use it and maybe perhaps help that future protecting in arms with the old scrap, feel free.
I'm super psyched for that. That sounds so cool. That's just a lot of metal. And I mean, we got some we did get some training before we went to fight Wyatt, so we can put that to use and have actual guard, have them trained up.
I feel like now is a great time to bring up. I did, in fact, kind of hire, not really. Two people volunteered to be interim sheriff and deputy sheriff. They're at the jail, watching Wyatt now, so maybe they might be good. They seemed really into it, so you can maybe go talk to them too. They know it's temporary though, so.
And I will say, some of the men that Wyatt worked for, I don't think are bad people. I just think they're misguided. And a lot of them just seem terrified of him. So, if they choose to protect the city, or wish to protect the city again, show them, but in the right way.
That's true. We had two of them come to what is left of the inn, and they've been helping on clearing things out, and I mean, it seems some of them do want to be better, so we probably should grant them that opportunity.
Yes. And if they mess up again, well, you know how to deal with it now.
Sounder, the dryad, turns to you and just goes, "Tell them that I can turn people into trees if need be."
Oh my. She said that she can turn people into trees if we need to. That would be so
that
cool.
would be so cool.
Imagine if you had an entire, like, it was a prison, but it was just a big, like, orchard. But it was actually a secret prison.
Think about that. Could be an interesting thing for Mr. Wyatt.
Turn him into a tree.
He's still alive.
Sentences.
And he's stuck in a tree.
I ask in Elvish, can you turn them out of a tree, though? Like, can you be like, okay, you're done now? Does it last for a certain amount of time?
Well, I've never really bothered with the turning them back into people part. It doesn't seem to be quite as useful as turning them into the trees.
How much of the forest do you
think
is
trees are better than people? I agree.
Maybe only for extreme circumstances. Like, say, there's a murderer on the loose. Tree. Now they can't murder people.
Or an arsonist.
Yeah.
Or you can offer it as, like, someone's dying wish. As they're on their deathbed, you can take them out into a field and turn them into a tree for their children to read books under.
That is... Okay, but wait, that is very heartwarming.
I want to be a tree.
Just a thought.
That is far better than when you suggested burning a man alive.
Yes. Very, very nice.
At this point, I think Al will start, like, clearing plates out of the way as people are done. Bring them to the kitchen, give the dog scraps, so there's room to talk, and we'll start doing dishes just in the background.
I would like to also say during this time, where I'm not, like, heavily into conversations, those parts where I'm, like, not a part of the full conversation, Dresdor has been working on that mask that he started working on last night.
So
The breadman
just to,
sees you working really hard and just passes you like a hot bun. Goes like, "You need energy for that."
he just has it on him.
Thank you, Breadman.
Yeah, if it's
I
from his basket. And he
yeah,
has a second smaller basket just under the table where he has the
I
special
will
snacks.
snack on it. Probably definitely get little bits of clay in it, but also I don't notice very much.
So can we run a quick poll? Let's go around the table and see what everyone thinks about the council. Everyone is allowed to say aye or nay, whether they are for or against the council, and one suggestion in 1 or 2 sentences. All right, let's keep it brief. We'll start with Alexander.
I I'd love it if we could put rebuilding the inn on the immediate council discussions, if that could somehow turn into a town project.
Bethany.
Also and do you maybe we should like order books from the capital on Elvish. Maybe we can just like start learning. That could be nice. We could talk to the lady.
Someone could teach a class.
Maybe maybe someone can we have elves here. They can start teaching classes. That could also be on the agenda. Education, public schooling.
Yes, build a school.
We don't have
That's a
like
wonderful
a
idea,
school
Bethany.
here.
Breadmen.
I think that this council is as good as good an idea as fresh hot bread. I will continue to bring hot bread. I will say if I am on board with maybe bringing more fae from the forest in. I would appreciate if it were not the kind of fae like the slimy thing sitting there, because he has been trying to get into the basket from under the table for about the amount of time we have been talking. Is he with you, or is he with her?
He's ours.
He's Oz.
He's with us. He'll
He's
be
not
gone.
gonna be on the council, is he?
No.
No.
That's why he has his not real place setting, because he's not sitting in a real place.
Imagine Robert just watches you talk and just goes,
sassy. So sassy.
Philip, you've been quiet today for a town crier.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice idea, the council, but we're just all very, very inexperienced people. I mean, we do have a lot of paper on hand. I'm just a bit worried that it's bad to have one person who's going to be extremely corrupt, and this is better than that, but it's just, what if a lot of you just leave and then we just fall apart in a horrible explosion of failure?
But that's not going to happen because you have community. You have your friends. That's why we picked all of you, because you're actual people who work hard and you know what people want and you know what people need. So just be thoughtful and keep being you. Be a good person and you guys won't fall apart. At least I hope.
That was really
That's
good. I
smart.
squeeze your hand.
Very cute.
I squeeze it back.
Hilda, do you have something you'd like to add?
Not really. I support the idea. It's a great idea. I love the fact that I'll get to have a say. I'm definitely more on a team. Maybe just hit Wyatt over the head a couple of times with something.
All right. Thank you, Hilda. Victoria, what have you got?
You know what? Definitely I for the council, and I already have ideas because if you're giving me metal, then maybe I could start like if we're doing education, we can start more apprenticeships. Because I'm technically like an apprentice. I'm not even running the inn, not the inn, the forge. I keep forgetting words. I was gonna say a joke about how they have a similar amount of fire in them right now, but that's not really funny. That's just kind of sad. But we did deal with Wyatt, so nothing's burning down again. I'm good. I'm good. I'm gonna. Can I just put like bread in my mouth? I don't have to keep talking.
I think that's a wonderful idea, Victoria. Thank you. And finally, you. What do you... switch to Elvish.
Mhm.
What say you about the council and one final statement?
As long as we institute a way to keep the townsfolk in check to make sure that they don't turn against us, then I am fine with being civil and forming a community with the town.
All right. It seems as if everyone is in agreement to form the council. We will leave it all to you on when you meet, what decisions are priority, who you do and don't elect. If anyone feels that they don't belong here, you are free to leave. We do not want to meddle too much in the politics of your town, even though we have already done a great amount of that. But we appreciate you, and we appreciate you for coming. There's probably a few more things we have to chat about. If anyone wants to stick around in the conversation pit, we'll be here.
I would also like to say, because you guys are basically rebuilding your town, you can make it into anything you want. This is your guys' decision. And to be honest, if you make it an exciting and wonderful and beautiful place, you might gain more people to join your community who also view these ideas. Which means it, and if they're just tourists, then that's good for the community as well. That means there's more money to spend on your community. Make this a home for your people, and make it a home that people can come and see and also view such beauty.
That is a very nice idea, and I think tourism would do us all quite well. Well, should we just get through some of these points from the? I don't know if a lot of you want to stick around for that, but we could have some more conversations before everyone. I mean, nice dryad lady made her way all the way from the forest, and this is a little bit away from where I live. So, I don't know if all of you want to stick around for that. I mean, we can talk maybe some taxes, maybe some dealing with forming new guards and stuff like that.
I mean, I don't know. None of you can communicate with the nice dryad lady, though.
Oh, that is true. Okay.
I mean, I can run. If you have a suggestion, I could run and ask some, just like start yelling and see if anybody knows Elvish and hire them for the day to translate.
I can
I
also
can
do
do that.
that.
Yes. I can run, but I cannot speak, so.
Yeah, Aster, how about you and I? We run and we bring somebody back to speak Elvish, and then we'll get out of here so you can make decisions uninfluenced.
All right. Well, if we are going to head out, for just a quick second, could I steal Victoria away for just a small question?
Absolutely.
Victoria, dear, at your forge, do you have like a kiln of something that I could possibly borrow for like a short period of time?
Yeah, sure. Sure.
Okay.
I can give you the spare key while we're in here talking.
All right. I will be sure to return this to you. I just need to finish up some small things.
That's fine. You guys are very well trusted, so you can just make sure to just turn everything off when you leave and just lock up, and that'll be fine.
Of course. I will do that, and I'm gonna go to Monty and pull him away and be like, "Hey, so I'm not very experienced in the forge, and if you're not doing anything, I could use your help in maybe making sure that I don't burn myself alive."
I would love to help you, Drez. I was gonna go to the forge anyways because I wanted to go before we left the city. So yeah, definitely.
Perfect. We'll do that.
I did want to have a pull Victoria aside for one-on-one conversation.
Victoria has at this point sat back down, just put a foot on her, like little bits of bread that are left. It's like, yay, I'm gonna eat these. And she's like, oh, okay,
Victoria, can I talk to you for a second?
sure, no problem. These will wait for me while I'm gone.
I didn't mean to pull you away from your meal, but I just wanted to say thank you
That's fine.
so much for everything that you've done. I don't know what happened at your forge with me, but it was definitely something special and something that I think I need to look for again, if that makes sense. Um, the next place we're going is the capital, and I was wondering if you knew any forges there that I should look out for, or any people I should look out for.
There's um there's a really good one. That the guy I'm working with, he knows it. He went to like he did his training with a guy who's from there, and there's um it's pretty much in the center of the city. It's um I think it's easy enough to find because it was he told me about it. It was built by the guy who built the. Have you ever been to the capital?
I haven't. No.
Okay. There's a river coming in, and there's these big statues that the ships pass under, kind of breaching over. And there's one of a smith, and I know that if you stand and look at it, that he's pointing to the forge. And because I remember we were talking about advertising, and that was the best ad that they made in that city because it points directly to the forge, and you can just walk right there, and it's really smart, and it's a really big forge. I really want to go there at some point because it's quite good.
Well, I'm not sure how long we'll be there, but maybe you could make a trip out there. Maybe we'll see each other again.
Sure. I mean, after we've kind of got the council
Right.
stuff
Establish
going.
yourself first before you take a
Yeah.
vacation.
Yeah, I do have kind of, stuff to do. But you guys have just I know you're saying thanks to me, but I shouldn't be saying thanks to you because like you guys just came in here, and I mean, you treated this place better than people who call it home. And for really, like, you didn't have to do it, but you just did. And I know you're leaving, and I know this isn't your home, but at any point you're welcome back. And I feel like everyone here is just gonna treat you like you've always been here, and whenever you need anything, really, it's here.
Someone always used to tell me that home is where your heart is. So, home
Yeah.
definitely here, it's anywhere. So, please write to me. And I give her a hug and squeeze her.
She hugs you back. She's very strong for someone that short.
Yes. Okay. I one more thing. There's some dangerous people out in the world, and I think I know that now more than ever. And I pull out my quarterstaff and I say, I think I'm gonna need something better than this out on the road. Could you help me with something?
Yeah. Oh, I have ideas for that. Okay.
Cool. You're awesome, Victoria.
You're awesome.
Sweet. All right, and then I'll go with Jez now.
I would like to pull Victoria aside for a moment.
Oh, also, while she was gone, Badger Bongwater is just slowly making his way from his chair towards the hot buns left on her table.
No.
You can see him doing it. He's doing it very obviously.
I pick up Badger Bogwater. No, no, no. Here, you can have mine. Stick it in his face hole.
He just grabs it, looks at you, tears it in half, gives half back to you, and just starts munching on his
Aw.
bit.
I'll put him back on my shoulder.
I'll grab Monty's old seat and sit down next to Victoria. Hello, Victoria.
Hi.
I know we haven't spoken very much, but I wanted to ask a favor or a question, an inquiry. I want to pay you, maybe, perhaps. Anyways, I pull out the mace that Al gave me. I have no idea how to use this, like, at all. I literally I've just been swinging it. I have no idea what I'm doing. Bonk onto the table. I lost my previous weapon in the fire in the inn for reasons that we don't need to get into right now. You can watch that in previous episodes. I was trained how to use just general pole arm weapons. So sort of close combat things like this don't really work super well for me. I was wondering if you have anything I might be able to use, glaives, spears, halberds, whatnot, that I can borrow, or if you wanted to make it a special project that you wanted to work on while we were wrapping things up here before we leave. Maybe I can give you a little bit of dough, not breadman dough, but like cash money dough, to craft a new weapon for me.
Okay. If you had your pick out of all of them, which one is the most you?
Oh goodness. Probably not a spear, because there's hardly any defense in that. That's just a quarterstaff with a spike on the end. I don't need that. But my instructor used a halberd and I used a glaive whenever we fought, and there was an obvious advantage with the ornament and the furniture on the halberd being so much more eccentric and better for defense. So I think I'd rather I think I'd like to try out a halberd.
All right. Yeah. Okay. I should have. I mean, you guys are giving me metal to work with. Okay. I have little projects now. This is fun.
Maybe we can find you like a wagon or something if you want to start pulling all the scrap over there. We can search for a wagon or a cart, or we can just carry it. Push it on the ground. We can find a big leaf and set it on a big leaf and pull it through the city
I don't
center.
know if the dryad would appreciate us just stealing leaves from the forest. Especially if they have like a really big one. That must be like a special leaf.
Yes, you're probably right.
But you know, there are the carts. If Mr. Montgomery went on vacation, no one's really handling stuff at the Rosewater Inn, the Rosewater factory. I keep calling everything an inn today. That is because of the inn joke. I just feel really weird. It wasn't really a good one.
It was a
So
little
we
bit
could probably
distasteful.
borrow. It's a bit distasteful, yeah. A bit mean. I will help them rebuild it though. I'm gonna get in on that. So hopefully that's kind of, you know. But it's when it's stuck in your head like that. You just kind of have to say that. And we could probably borrow one of their cards.
Yeah.
We have a bunch of cards just around.
Well, we can just take it.
Also, you know, a bunch of people work there. They could be using it for business reasons.
Yeah, I mean, people work here, but it's not like anyone's taking the cards out when it's not, you know.
Exactly.
Like Mr. Montgomery comes in and tells that he like comes in and is like, oh, shipment, whatever. That is going to be a bit difficult to do all the work at the factory if Mr. Montgomery just isn't passing on. But they'll figure it out. Maybe they'll just make it a local business.
Maybe. And maybe that's better
Yes.
than a perfume monopoly.
Especially since the Perfume Monopoly did sponsor just rude things a lot. Doesn't really seem very a good thing to keep around.
All right. Well, you eat your hot buns as quickly as possible before little rat goblin comes and tries to eat them. I'm gonna go somewhere else.
All
I'll
right.
get up and go, I guess, start helping Al with the dishes. Ugh, these are disgusting.
Question. We've been here for a while.
Yeah.
Would I probably would have had time to see if, like, Wyatt or his men had, like, a wardrobe of clothing somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Sure, there's like the room, there's a more general like bedroom area for just the people working for him. That's got like two different wardrobes with kind of nice sections, and then there's kind of like more his personal closet of clothing items.
Oh. Okay. I'm gonna peek at both areas. As I kind of want to blend in right now, as much as I distaste regular clothing.
Definitely, there's more like options in terms of size and style because all the people working here kind of have their own type of clothes. But if you want to go for boring and blending in, Wyatt has no taste at all. It's all like brown and gray and just very just like meh.
I'm kind of like scoffing over the wardrobe as I'm pulling things out. And then I look at shoes and I'm like, I detest.
And I'm looking at the shoes like, oh my god, they don't have holes in them. They're great.
Monty, do you need shoes? I mean,
Yeah.
there's a plethora of them here. Like,
I've been wearing these shoes for 2 years straight. Probably
just
more than that.
look, these ones got nice soles. They look sturdy. Maybe try them on and see if they fit.
Yeah, let's try it. My current shoes, like my feet just like stick out of them if you like pull back the sole. Yeah. I'm getting a whole new wardrobe here in
yeah. So I pick out boring clothes. I also look for for a cloak of some kind to hide my very obvious hair.
There is like a very it's made out of the worst scratchy material, but it does have a very big hood on it that you could
I'm like super unenthusiastic about this whole situation.
Yeah, do the people that are after you, do they know that I'm with you? Should I also?
I have no idea, but if they have been if they've been following me, they might know who I've been traveling with. But they've got very keen eyes. I'm just worried. I don't know, like I know they're after me. I don't believe they would attack you or anyone else in the party, but also it's been over a decade since then, so I don't know how much they have changed. since then. When I met them, they were a group of people that welcomed others into their weird cult, and once you betray that group, then you are put on basically a death wish.
What did you do?
Well, I defaced their whole thing by stealing this book. Listen, I spent a good 5 years with this group because I was curious, and there was a lot of people there that looked similar to me there. I just. I grew up with my mom, who is an orc. I never met my father. I don't know where he went, who he is. I don't even know anything about my other half of myself. So, of course, I was excited to see that there was a whole tribe of people similar to me, and I got washed away by excitement and validation. But I found out that they're all lunatics because they all believed in this stupid book. And I had spent 5 years there, and I gained the trust of them to partake in their ceremony, and it's it's crazy. It's like if I don't like how it sounds. Basically, they play with the fate of things. They, uh, they write in this book, right? Like you ask a simple question in the book, and you go, like, say, "Am I gonna get married? Am I gonna find my soulmate?" And the book might answer you. And if it does, then, like, they're lunatics. They will strive on that book's word, and it just. It didn't seem healthy, so I snuck in one night into the main temple, and I took it. On my way out, one of the high priests caught me. I've been on the run ever since. Never thought a group of lunatics would be skilled in magic and deadly takeouts. But here they are. I don't even know a dang thing about whatever this. If that. It was just magic in that book, or if there was an entity in it, I don't know. It's lost in the ocean now.
So there's no giving it back.
No. I thought if I parted with it, it would stop, and it didn't. It only made things worse, and I'm not even sure if they're aware that I no longer have the book, but considering that they are very keen eyes, perhaps they do know, and now they're even more effed off than before.
Well, don't worry. Let's head to the forge. I'll keep an eye out for you. And I'm
Thank
excited
you.
to see what this project is.
Yes, thanks. Let's go. I tie my hair back, not super eccentric, just basic tie hair back so that it's out of the way, out of my face. I have removed all of my jewelry, which is very sad. Uh, and I hood up, very uncomfortable with the feeling of my toes being squished in shoes. And I go off to the forge with Monty.
Are you walking a bit like dogs when you put socks on them?
A little bit.
A little bit. Okay. Also, at this point, Alan Astor, Paul winners of art. Can you guys make me either both of you or one of you, another one can give the help action, whichever we prefer. But an investigation check for looking for elvish speaking peeps. And
+2.
I have a +1 to perception.
I rolled a 17 +2, 19.
I rolled a 16.
Wonderful. Pretty much immediately as you make your way back into like the main area of the village, there's just a lot of people hanging around and a lot of like elves and half elves. Just kind of it's kind of strange. You come in there, they're sitting around on like blankets in the middle of the town square, just kind of like sipping out of glasses, and then you realize the cause of this because the mayor, the 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 bimbo mayor is walking around with two different wine bottles in hand, pouring people like drinks,
What Friday
and just
is?
carrying around like watermelon on a plate, like a bit of pineapple, just setting it up. Like she's amassing a community here at the town square.
That's how you get people together.
And she just sees you and she goes, "Hi, do you want wine?"
Yes, please, just a little.
They definitely
Actually,
need
I
her.
have wine that I actually got for you.
Oh, this is sweetheart. Oh, that is, and this is like good.
Yeah, I
Wow.
found it over at Wyatt's place. He was like keeping it from people. Yeah.
Oh, this is good. Okay. I'm gonna put this in ice so it's like ready. Um. Okay. Do you want? I have red. I have a white. I have red and white.
I'm good, but thank you.
I'll have a white wine, please. And then can I just like go? I'll leave Aster to chat with the mayor. Can I go and just like whoever's nearest and start speaking in Elvish? Like, hey, how would any of you feel about like being a translator for just a couple hours, Elvish to Common, if that's cool? I'll pay you. And I like pull out like 4 gold and be like, it's good money. If
It
anybody
could be a
wants just
regular
for a couple
gig
hours.
if you do
Could
good.
be a reoccurring gig, not yeah.
Is it just for one person, or can we have multiple people there?
In the future we might need multiple people, but just for today we just need one. So y'all can like rock, paper, scissors it if you want. Or, elect vote.
I was gonna start vote.
Do it.
This results in a very long conversation in Elvish between like because there's one guy that's arguing that he's a half elf and his dad didn't speak Elvish, and then he did a lot of translations as a kid, so he already has experience. And then there's another lady who's just being like, well, okay, but your conjugation is just not up to standard, so maybe it's like better if I do this. And then someone turns to you and just goes like, we should maybe do the rock paper scissors part.
I should also mention it's for a dryad. I don't know if that affects like dialect or anything. Yeah. You can sort it out. I'm just still standing there with 4 gold in my little hands.
Okay. How how about I do today and then she does whatever the next time is.
Great.
Oh,
Here you
can
go.
I takes the money. Can I ask how is that's pretty rare. How did that come around that there's a dryad that needs translation?
It's I'll explain on the way. Um, it's kind of, I mean, it's not really hush hush, but it's a new thing, so like it's not really my place to say. It's not anything weird. That's making it sound really weird. It's not weird. It's just a council meeting. So
Okay. Okay.
is that wine coming soon? Okay, yeah. Uh yeah, it's at Wyatt's house, so if you just want to head that way.
He's
It's
not
not Wyatt though. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm really extra flustered today.
I'm
Wyatt's
starting
house, but not Wyatt. Wyatt is in jail.
I'm starting to get a bit worried I might be getting kidnapped here or something because you're making this sound really suspicious.
I know it's not suspicious. It's a council meeting, a town council, and a dryad is on the council, but the dryad doesn't speak common and the council doesn't speak Elvish or Sylvan, so we need a translator is all for a meeting. It's a public meeting.
You make me a persuasion check just to see how stressed this person is getting.
Like I rolled a natural one.
Oof.
You gotta,
Ask
like,
for help.
Uh, I'm sorry that like I get it. A lot of the situations, a lot of the things that we're saying don't really make sense, especially in the context of like what's happened within the last few days. Basically, the rundown is that after we brought Wyatt to like get arrested and stuff like that, after we brought him down, a lot of the members of our party really liked the setup that he had and decided to refurbish it. And so currently kind of unoccupied, but could be a great meeting place for stuff. And that's why we have this community like council meeting there. The dryad, the Fae of the forest really helped out with the revolution, so it only makes sense to have them at the table when we're talking about councils, especially because if you guys want to continue having a better relationship with them, they have to kind of be in conversation with everyone else. It's nothing shady, it's just us trying to figure out how to move forward.
I mean, I don't have much experience with like fey creatures, but just this is sounding really a bit weird. And I did get that story read to me where like the dryads and the pixies come in and they kidnap kids and then they put them in the Feywild and then the kids like stay there for years and then they come out and it's like a different century or no time has passed and then they try to like eat us or something. So just need to make sure that this dryad isn't gonna is it like a thing where it's like sacrifice where you need to like give them someone? Because
No,
I have things to do.
no.
I don't want to get kidnapped. I have things to do in town.
In the best of my knowledge, all of those stories, or the majority of those stories, are stereotype propaganda. They aren't really completely true. Like the winners tell the stories kind of thing, and it's painting them in a bad light. The dryads and the fae really helped us with the revolution, and they're just the most interaction that you're going to have to do for this, if it helps, is just translate. You're not selling your soul to them. I don't think that's even an actual thing that you do for the Fae. So I the most you're going to have to do is just translate, because no one really right now from your town that's on the council speaks Elvish. And we're going to help fix that. We're going to start like education programs and stuff. But for now, we just really need a translator.
Okay, with the help you're getting here, you can roll again and see if
Oh,
it's not
thank
in that
God.
one again. See if it's something a bit higher.
Okay, that's a 12 plus. Wow, 5%. So 12 plus 5, 17, 18, 17,
17.
17.
Nice.
Thank you, Esther. You're the best.
They kind of stop for a bit and then go, okay, okay. Sure, I can. Where is it? I can do it. I have the cash. Mayor Liana just leans over and goes like, "Are you guys leaving already?"
Yeah. Sorry,
Aw.
we have places to go, people to see, business.
Okay.
Leah, just really quick, do you by chance have a like like a carriage we could have? Do you just have one that we could have
Snack for
because you're so
free.
nice and well equipped? And yeah, it's just it feels like something you would have and be able to gift as a not you, you just have one.
Yeah, I do have. They used to give me like a carriage for like work related purposes, and I took it. I mostly took
Mhm.
it over to like the bigger town because I used to go because my friend I wasn't supposed to be drinking in the town square in the morning, but my friend heard about what happened with the Rosewater stuff, and I got canceled on, so I'm just drinking here. So I'm not gonna be needing the cart, so you can take the cart if you want to, because like I'm not really going like that many other places. And here's your wine.
You're a
Here's
lifesaver.
more wine.
Thank you. You're a lifesaver. We might bring
I
the
am.
cart back someday, so consider it a loan.
Don't promise that.
Where can we pick it up? We
It's
don't
like
we don't have the horses with us.
I think it's like at there's like this section of the stables that's for all like the Rosewater and the town hall stuff. That's usually there.
Right.
But you can have the horse that they gave me because we're very close with the horse. So it's kind of like a friend.
Awesome. Thank you so much. You're the best. Okay, let's go.
Thank you.
The mayor's very hype vibes. They definitely need her on the council
Yeah.
to organize events. Like, come on.
Yeah.
She'd be like, "Oh
Council
yes, we
party
need
planner for
this
sure.
type of wine, and then if we're getting this type of wine, we need this type of food. Breadman always welcome. We want all of his hot buns. Like, do we have
And with that
cheese?"
and with that beautiful prophetic vision of the next year in this town where they just have the biggest festivals of all time, we're gonna take a break and we will be back in however many minutes we're back.
Around 10 minutes.
Around 10
We'll
minutes
see you
for
around
Forge.
12:42.
Yeah, for Forge content.
Forge content.
Forge content.
See you all in just a few minutes. Bye.
forge.
Hello and welcome back, everyone, to Tales from the Known Lands. I just real quickly before we go back to forge business, I forgot that last stream I said that I would wear my cape that I made of curtains after I so horribly roleplayed my character to diss on curtain clothes. So this is a cape that I sewed myself. Well, I hot glued most of it myself. It's made out of curtains. It's made out of 2 different curtains. And I was talking to Spencer about how the pants Spencer is making for the Sonder cosplayer made out of curtains, and the clothes I have for Saunder's cosplayer made out of bed sheets. So, just because Sonder disses on curtain clothes does not mean
Little
Quentin
known
and
fact,
the gang
his
diz.
outfit is made out of bed sheets and curtains.
But he would never tell anybody that. All right. Let's get back into it.
All right.
Heading towards the forge, I would like to keep an eye out for
Make me a
sus
perception check.
people.
I'll pull out my new shield and also make a perception check if that's okay.
All right.
Who's
Your
better
beautiful
at-
new shield, which gives you advantage. Yeah.
That is 10 plus 3, so 13.
And I got a 20.
All right. There's a point where you're walking, you're kind of halfway there. Drez, you're looking around, not seeing much. Monty, there's you're like looking past, there's a lot of alleyways and turning points, and you notice that there's actually someone sitting up on the rooftop of one of the homes, just kind of like just barely peeking out from the other side so you can see them. But they are wearing a hood over their head, but you can pretty much still tell that they're staring directly at you.
Okay. Guys, we might want to walk a little bit faster. I see someone on top of the roofs. If I'm gonna turn my head and look at them, what do they do?
When you give them like an obvious enough stare, you just see their head just pop down.
Can you ascertain perhaps if they are like race wise, what type
They
at
had
all?
they had their hood up, so I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, let's hurry up into this forge then. As we're walking, is there how busy are the streets?
It's still pretty early in the morning, so there's I would say a generous amount of people, because there's people heading out to work, heading back home from like night shifts, and you also have people who look too drunk for this hour who are heading vaguely towards the town square.
Okay. I would like to try and sort of swerve through crowds and taking like back alleyways to try to perhaps lose them towards the forge.
Okay, make me a stealth check.
Wish I would stop sucking. That's just a 10. Full 10.
All right.
I am going to use the excuse that Drez is very nervous and very scared.
You could also use the excuse that you're carting along me.
Yeah, it was kind of like ting ting ting
Like,
ting
clink,
ting
clink,
ting
clink.
ting clink clink.
I'm trying my best.
I will.
I will
enter-
say,
yeah.
as you're making your way past, you can just kind of hear off to the side someone moving past the rooftops, keeping a bit of a distance, but you can still hear them kind of moving around.
Oh, I'm very nervous about this. Okay. we're gonna enter the forge, I guess. I'm going to unlock the door, and the moment we get in, lock the door.
Okay.
Is there
Uh,
like curtains by the windows?
there's
Or like shutters?
shutters. Yeah, shutters.
I
Most
will
flammable.
close all of the shutters. Full on close privacy. I don't want them, period.
Let's make a quick sweep around the forge and make sure there's no one in here, just in case.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Look around the forge. Every little crevice.
Yeah, make me investigation checks here, just so I can see how well you're searching for the
I'm
forge.
gonna get.
We have the
How's
negative.
your? How's your? Would you roll? I was about to say, how's your investigation?
Oh, I rolled a 2, and I have a -1 modifier.
Ah, okay.
Just walk into a wall.
Flat 10.
Oh, okay, so we do need light. We do need light in here.
Uh,
I'll go light the
flat,
fire.
flat,
Ow.
flat 10. Got no modifier to investigations. Yep.
There's some rooms that look to be closed that you can't get like the door open. And some like corner, but you get a vague look around. Doesn't seem to be anyone here right now.
Okay. Closed doors, I will barricade everyone that I cannot get into.
Okay. A lot of heavy stuff around, so it's pretty easy to find stuff.
Just in case. Alright.
People are serious.
When we have done with that, I will pull out the workings of my mask. Last session I had cut it to where these two pieces come off. Have not reattached them together. I have been working on the bottom piece for adding teeth details, and those those features represent a lot of orc-like features. And they have large protruding cusps coming out from the bottom. With the clay that I had bought a while ago. I'm like, so what I need help with, Monty, is this pot has been finished, and I need to harden the clay so it doesn't get damaged while we are traveling. I've never worked in a forge. I vaguely know what I'm doing, but not very well. This is not my expertise.
Okay. Well, this is more of a ceramics type
I know,
project.
but I
I
know.
mean, is there a kiln in the forge? Something we could use? I mean,
I said that there was.
Yes, there's it's like you have the main kind of working station, and you have like a couple of like smaller stuff for more like delicate and the kiln work off in the corner.
we can definitely make this work, Drez.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate this. I never thought I would be putting so much effort into this, but I am.
Can you talk about why you're making this a little bit more? I know we talked about it before, but
So, I'm following my way, in my way, but also somewhat in the same footsteps of my master. Um, Master Rosling. He's kind of the one that whipped me into shape when I was younger. Um, every way is different, but under my master's training, we all have a mask that is handcrafted and we are bestowed a blank slate when we first begin our travels. We are to figure out a way to personalize it, make it our own. My master's mask resembles that of um, a large hawk, per se. He is quick on his feet, but also can be deadly if he hits you in the wrong place. Um, Mine is, I guess, I've been struggling with this for a very long time, but I think the most that I feel at home. I mean, typically it's supposed to represent an animal, but this is more, to me, I've always connected more with my mother's side, even though I don't physically represent that. So I thought maybe I could make my mask into what I believe I should look like.
I think that's beautiful, Drez. And I'm really honored that I get to work on it with you.
Thank you. Um, I couldn't think of anyone else that could have helped me better, so let's get this on the going.
It's really nice to work in a forge again. This forge was actually the first one I have stepped in about 2 years now. It's crazy, but this one feels really good. And it feels really good to be doing what I love again.
Um, I think you vaguely talked about it, and you don't have to if you don't want to, but how come you stopped working at a forge?
It's a long story. Um, it was my father's, and things at home were hard, and I had to leave. And that's how when I found the circus with my sister was after that. Um, sorry. I can we just focus on this right now, if that's okay?
Yeah, that's fine. You can
Okay.
tell me when you're ready.
Thanks,
Or
Red.
if you don't want to at all. That's fine as well. Yeah, we'll get to work. Work,
Heck
work, work.
yeah. Um, so wait, Sonder, you talked to Victoria asking for a glaive, right?
I
Oh,
just
okay.
realized I was muted on the stream. I talked to Victoria asking for Halberd.
Did I overhear that conversation, Keffa?
I mean, you guys spoke at the table still,
Right.
and you might have, yeah, if you weren't speaking off to the side, you were speaking like in the middle of the room, so there's a good chance you could have heard it.
Cool. Okay, because then while we're making the little tusks for Drez, I want to use my artisan's blessing to make a halberd for Sonder. Yeah.
What are you making it look like? Just like are you adding any touches
Yeah.
onto it?
I want it to be like, I want the staff part to be white, and then the actual blade is silver, and then I want to do my best to do like an intricate, like you know those fancy teacups, like the blue and white teacups, like that kind of design on it. and a little ribbon, a blue ribbon. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Okay. Just as you're working at the forge on this, you can do this no problem because you are skilled and it's a feature. But can you just make me like a wisdom check with your tools proficiency,
Sure.
just to see how the work is going?
11.
Okay. The entire both the mask making process and the weapon making is going great. Like they're coming out really good. It's just at one point you're like stepping over, trying to get like around the forge because you have one thing going in there, one thing going in there. And there's just a moment where you slip up a bit and like you're just moving some hot stuff from one place to another to like heat up the forge, and it just clatters on the ground, spills out some embers, and they fall in a way that they look a little weird, like it's almost like they're forming letters, because you can see like an A and like what looks to kind of be like either an M or two N's and an A at the end.
I can't read, but I know what those letters are. I recognize them. Okay. Oh, damn. Okay, I wanna take out the amulet and just like hold it in my hand and then go back to work.
It's very warm to touch, like pleasantly warm.
Cool. That's awesome.
And also as you're working, at some point you just hear like a little sound on the window. It kind of sounds like someone just like throwing pebbles at the side of the forge.
I can go out there, Trez. You can just hide and I'll see what it is.
I'm just worried about it could, if it's them, it could be a distraction of finding a different way in. So I would still like to stay close by.
Okay.
I'll just kind of like duck.
All right.
Like under stuff, but is clear, like close to Montu.
All right.
And yeah, I'll go ahead and before I open the door, I just want to be like, "Who's there?"
Silence.
No.
Go.
I look at Drez and I nod at him and then I open the door slowly, peek my head
Mhm.
out.
There doesn't seem to
Hello?
be anyone directly waiting outside on like the entranceway.
Is there a package on the door or anything?
No package. It's just you can just see the street.
Is there a badger book?
Can I see where the pebbles were like being thrown? Like where
Oh
are
yeah, wait.
They sounded kind of like they were coming from like there's like an alleyway or going around kind of like from around there, kind of like in the back.
um okay. I'm gonna step out and leave the door open just a crack so Drez could get out. Unless you don't want me to, Drez. Could just ignore it.
We could.
Okay,
We
we'll
could
do
just
that.
ignore it. Just shut the door. I, you know, know I do a lot of running, a lot, but
Mhm.
I don't think these are people I'm ready to face anytime soon, to be honest.
I don't think I am either. I think that was a good idea. Um, yeah, when they didn't call out, when no one called out, I knew that was an issue. Don't trust that.
Yeah.
But we are gonna have to get out of here eventually. Um,
But when we leave, we'll be together instead of them trying to separate us.
true. You're right. You're right. Okay. Nobody's home. Even though I yelled. It's okay.
It's just the forge creaking.
Yikes.
Okay. While you're continuing your work, Alan, Astor, you guys are making your way back with the translator to the council meeting.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
They're kind of just like twiddling their thumbs as you walk, just being like, "Ooh, Wyatt's house. Haven't been there before."
It's nice. I
Is
mean,
that
it's,
it? The
yeah. Um.
Hmm.
I like your shoes. Your shoes are nice. Good
Thank you.
shoes.
So,
Uh,
so what's your name? What do you like to do?
Well, my name is Ashton, and I kind of just I've been like picking up different jobs and I mean I've done some translating work. Is there like so this is the a council for what's the council for?
Yeah, so some of the leaders during the revolution are meeting together to try to talk about what the future of your guys's like local government or how you guys are gonna run is gonna maybe go so that you guys don't have. So the mayor basically was definitely like a puppet. She wasn't like actually running the place. It was a corrupt system. So they're talking to see like how do we control this town? How do we like govern this town without being vulnerable to those opportunities again?
Okay.
Yep.
And the dryads are part of that?
Yeah, they because they helped us with the revolution, um, they they should they were one of the leaders in that, so gotta give them the same respect, you know. Um, and also it's to continue having like a long-lasting relation, like alliance with them, so that people so that you guys aren't like at each other's throats anymore.
That's smart. Okay.
Mm.
I don't really know dryad etiquette, but I guess it's just saying hello.
Just being generally respectful, treat them like any other, I don't know, higher up. Don't be rude
Okay.
and don't say any stereotypical things about them.
Okay. No asking if they kidnap kids. That's
No,
I mean
that's
yeah, very bad.
yeah, very bad.
Okay. They walk up to the door, and kind of like give a little knock. Um, Also, Sander, are you where are you where are you right now, Sander?
Washing dishes.
What are you doing? Washing dishes. Okay.
Assume they don't have very advanced plumbing, so I'm probably out back at one of those thingies,
Mm-hmm.
like doing that and holding the plate under and like trying to like rub it before the water stops coming out. Every once in a while, I'll like put my foot up on the thing to push it down so that I can use both of my hands.
Please, just for fun, give me a dexterity check. Just
Okay.
like, just so I can see how well you're managing.
Just like plus my dex modifier.
Yeah, just plus your dex.
All right. That is going to be 7.
Oh, it's such a long process of you just pumping the water and then it just stops running by the time you get the plate. It's a challenge. It's a challenge.
Why aren't you just using a bucket?
Badger Bongwater wanders out and just watches you.
The plates don't fit in the bucket. The plates are too wide around and won't fit inside the bucket. I can get the
But you
silverware.
could
All the
dip
silverware
your-
is in the thing. But
You could dip the rag in the bucket and just wash the plate.
I don't have a rag. I'm using my hands.
Badger kind of comes up
ever
to you.
washed dishes before?
Absolutely not. He has no idea what he's doing. He just knows that they put it in the water and then it comes out clean. He's not using soap. He's not using a rag. He's just rubbing it off until he can't see it anymore and setting it back in the dirt.
Badger comes up to you and kind of like stands next to the pump and just starts like doing his little Sylvan like
What?
and like pointing at the dishes and pointing at the pump.
What? What do you want? Do you want to do it? Do you want to do it? Will you grab that for me and push it? But do it like this. Do this. You do this. Good.
He
Okay,
like has to
good.
jump up and hold on to it and just like hop up a little bit.
Thank you, Badger Bongwater. For the first time in my life, I'll say thank you.
The second you put the plate under, he just lets go.
This is cruel and wicked. You are cruel and wicked, Badger Bongwater. Keep pumping.
We should just
Grabs back onto it.
We should just sick Badger Bong water onto the cult people.
Resolved in a day.
Right.
You have solved my puzzle of the cult. Alan asks her as you walk in, just kind of into a conversation with the translator, and Alexander's talking. He's like, "Well, if we start this apprenticeship program, that might solve the issue of having people who went to Wyatt as the main source of authority in their lives, because they're gonna have a place in the community to do that otherwise." And there's a bit of nodding, and then they start writing down more things on a piece of paper, which they've pulled up some of the paper from the guide and are just like making what looks to be like a list of places and agendas. And the translator kind of gives like an awkward wave and says, "Hi everyone," and then says hello in Elvish.
This is Ashton. Ashton will be your translator, at least for today. I paid them, so we're all good there. In the future, though, if you want a regular translator, I leave that up to you.
That's fantastic. Okay. Alexander kind of gets up and pulls out a chair for Ashton, next to the dryad.
Aster, maybe we should start getting everybody's stuff together and get ready to head out, and we could swing by the forge to pick them up and get all our stuff.
Yeah. Before we take off, I do want to. I'm now addressing the counselor. Like, I found this in Mr. Montgomery's office. I think he was gonna keep it for himself, but I think you guys would have better use with it. And I like popped down the little chest with a little box with the 100 gold pieces.
Like, Victoria just opens. That is so much money. That is so much money.
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing with it, but it should be for you guys to help the community. and not for him to fund his vacation.
Probably has money elsewhere.
Yeah.
We've been picking up roles in the council, so I guess money stuff should go to Hilda, with like the business side of things. So are you leaving?
Yeah, I don't know, we don't want to overstay our welcome, and we have some. I mean, originally, I think the rest of the party had some other places that they wanted to go and had to get this place done with, but it looks like you guys are doing great. I think, I don't know, it wasn't what I was hired for, but I think I helped with bringing up the morale in this town, even though it wasn't the specific thing I was hired for. It helped. I mean, we'll be back at some point, but there's other places calling us right now.
I will write out like Clark's address and be like, if you send a message here, it might get to me if you ever need us. So you have that. I can't promise we'll be able to respond timely depending on where we are, but
yeah, they kind of one of them grabs the address and just puts it in the box of money, and asks Alexander gives you a smile and he says, I'm sure you're a fantastic performer, but I will say that this definitely did more for morale. Though if at any point you come back and you do want to perform too, that's I'm sure we'll have the inn up and running by then.
Yeah, of course. I'd be happy to come back. So, we're just gonna start packing up. Feel free to use this place as whatever you want. Where is Sonder?
Oh, he's I think he's handling like the dishes and the washing up and the parts. I'm a bit worried that might be overwhelming for him. He seems like he was struggling a little bit. And also, are you taking the dogs that they've been hanging out?
Oh yeah, I think we're definitely taking the dogs.
Yes,
We
please.
bought them little coats.
Yeah, that's lovely. Okay. Well, your friends out back.
Thank you. I'm gonna go grab Sonder first if you want to go head up and start packing.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll head up to our main room and try and gather everything in bags and load up.
Cool. Hey Sonder, what are you up to? Oh.
You see Sonder soaking wet in like a giant mud puddle that has formed around this, I don't even know what it's called, water spout thing. Their dishes are in stacks, and some of the stacks have like fallen over. The bucket is full of just like dirty, muddy water, and there's bits of food floating in it. And I'm currently like yelling at Badger Bong Water, stick your hands, sticky. Do the sticky thing and get them on there so you don't fall off. Stick your hands. Stick, you stick to pump.
Just gives you to your hands.
Are they stinky?
No. Oh God, I pick him up. Get off.
He's just hanging around.
Get off. Get off. Get off.
You're just doing that. He starts getting a little bit scared, just puts his feet on your face, and just like starts genuinely sticking really strongly, so you don't drop him.
I probably
How's it going, you guys?
right into Aster.
Oh,
Ooh. Aster,
oh,
please. His feet are on my cheeks, and I can't get them off.
hey Badger, do you wanna come over here?
Badger sees you just like lets go of Sonder. Just hops over to you.
Hey, I'm gonna like pick him up and like put him on my shoulders. We're packing up to leave. Do you wanna not do that?
Yes. I absolutely want
Okay.
to not do this.
Okay, I can cover it. Al is upstairs, around packing up. I think we're gonna grab all of that and then head over. Where is Monty and Drez?
They went to the forge to do
Okay.
something. I don't know.
Okay.
Weapon stuff.
So we can pack up and then go pick them up. And then we met Liana in the town square having her wine Friday. And we're taking her carriage.
Wine Friday is exactly what I think I need right now. I
We can
think
stop by.
that might just be the cure.
Perfect. Yeah, I can cover this if you want to go up.
Could you a favor?
Yeah?
Could you press the who's it what's it on my socks to make them not wet, please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I cast prestidigitation on his socks and the dishes.
Good. We could have
Just a
done that
little
the whole
flash,
time.
but completely clean.
Yeah. We're good here. I can like put these away, you can go up, and then we can just head over.
Thank you.
Can't
You're
wait for
welcome.
all of them to show up at the forge and scare the crap out of both me and Monty.
I'm gonna go inside, and while they're packing up, I really just have my backpack. So while they're packing up, I'm gonna go sit in front of the fire pit to try and dry my clothes off.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put the dishes away and then grab more stuff and make sure the dogs follow and all ready to go.
I definitely like tie a little sack onto each of the dogs' backs to help me carry stuff. Just of our like random like our I put our like rations on little doggy backpacks. All right, buddies. We're going on an adventure and it's gonna be so great. You're the best dogs ever and you're gonna come with us.
The dog is just having so much fun. They're just like, yeah. You can see that they're trying to sit still, but they're just so excited. They're like vibrating around.
So is Al.
Right.
And also in the dining room, the council meeting seems to have ended. The townsfolk member of the council are like shaking hands with the dryad, kind of like saying goodbye, having Ashton translate that to her, and she's saying goodbye back. And Hilda walks up to you and she says, just before you go, I don't know which way you're heading, but just when you have your stuff and you're ready, just stop by the general store because I have some stuff for you for your journey. Nothing big. It's just like so you don't go hungry on the way because it's quite a long time.
I just like jump into her arms and give her a big hug. Like,
Aww. She hugs you back.
thank you. You're the best. I'm gonna miss you so much. And I'll send letters, okay?
Okay. Well, you know where to send them, and I'll love to read them and write back.
Thanks, friend. Okay.
Gives you a pat.
Okay, you're great. I turn to Aster after she leaves and be like, Aster, I have a friend! A whole bunch of friends now!
I'm so excited. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for everyone in this room. Are you ready to go?
Let's do this.
Yeah, I think we're heading over to the forge now.
Okay.
You guys find the door is locked.
Oh, yeah. Also, where are our horses currently?
I think
our
I think
horse.
there's
I don't know if
still
Iggy
the-
has his.
I think he has that one, but our other horse is still at the forge.
Okay.
Or not the forge, the stables.
The stables.
Maybe we swing by it there, get the carriage all loaded up, so we can bring the carriage and the horses to the forge.
Escape
Connor
crime.
can get his wine Friday.
Yeah.
Yes. I take like 3 of those like little like white paper cups. I take like 3 of them, as many as I can carry in my hands, and it's like.
Yeah, it's like sometime has passed. A Wine Friday is like going big. They have candles now set around the town square.
Wow.
Liana is just like so drunk, and she's having like essentially the picnic version of like a drunk 20-year-old woman in a like a club bathroom. She's like sitting down with a bunch of people and they're like, "You are so. Do not ever let anyone tell you that you are not beautiful because you are the best."
Damn.
She's
I
just
love
like,
her.
"Hi, babes."
I love her.
She's like an influencer.
This was hard.
I love her.
We're taking the carriage now.
Oh, okay. Um. Okay. Do you want like I don't know how you say goodbye around because like I can kiss you on the cheek. That'd be nice. And you can say
Okay.
hi to Freckles. Okay. She walks over and gives you each like a kiss on each side of the cheek. And you need to say hi to Freckle for me because he's at the stables. That's Freckles, my horse.
Okay.
Okay. And take some wine for the road because it's, but not the one of you who's gonna be driving because you're not allowed to do that.
Who has vehicle proficiency?
I don't think
Oh.
not me.
I drove it last time. I got lucky with horse charm.
What's my animal handling?
My animal handling has no modifier.
I have
Mine
a
is
3.
+3.
Okay, so I can drive the carriage to the forge, and then we'll let Monsieur Dress take over. Oh, and we have to
Okay.
stop at the general store. Man, we got a lot to do.
Should we drop by the general store first and then the forge, or on the way back?
Let's do general store first. We can load up the carriage and then give them more time to finish up whatever they're working on.
Okay. General store.
You come in. Hilda's already like working, and like she's stocking shelves as you come in. And she goes, "Okay, your care package for the road." And she brings you over. She's like, "So this here is pie, and this is you need to eat this in like the next, whenever. So like don't, because these are produce you can take on the road for a longer time, but that's you need to eat or it's gonna go bad. And then this is good to drink. This is good. I'll help you carry it. I mean, I know you can carry a lot, but it's a lot of food.
Hey.
And this is for horses, so you can give that to the horses to munch on. Okay. Just helping you just carry stuff to the carriage.
Thank you.
Do you have blankets? Because it can get cold. Do you have blankets in the carriage? I'll give you some blankets. Wait. Walks
She's
back
like,
into the-
she's like a mom who's making sure that her kid is got everything ready for their little family, their little trip with their friends.
It's so cute.
Did you remember to pack sunscreen?
I love it.
Do you have
He comes out with
pillows?
the blankets and just starts puts one on each like seat in the carriage just to make sure everyone gets one.
Do you have like a little personal pillow I can put behind my head?
I can get you a
A
pillow.
little travel pillow.
Yeah, I can get you a pillow. Wait, I'll walk back and look for a good pillow for you.
Yes.
You have a color preference?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
Not neon green.
Not any.
Don't know if you
I
know
don't
what
think I
that
have
is.
those set up.
While she's
Oh, there's.
looking, oh, I was just gonna say, while she's looking, I just want to slip like five gold in her like cash register or whatever. Just like sneak it in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sander, she brings you out a pillow, and it's a simple white, but it has like embroidered violets on it. She goes, "This one looks like it'll match you."
This will do wonderfully. Oh, I could fall asleep right here, Hilda. Thank you.
Okay, well, you're right. Don't forget, and watch out on the road. Watch out for bandits, because there's just keep your blankets, keep your food, and remember to eat. Don't get in trouble, or just the right amount of trouble.
I give her another huge hug. I love you so much. Okay, goodbye.
I love you too, friend.
Alec gets in the seat and ready to drive the horses, just full crying. Like, okay, everybody, let's go.
All right. Perception checks as you're making your way to the forge.
All of us?
Yeah, everyone heading to the forge.
15.
Dirty 20.
Woo.
Cersei's all.
6.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
I'm lounging. I got my new pillow.
Yeah, it's just full chill. Full chill. Alan Astor, you do see just like this time they're a bit better at hiding, but it's just because of the way the lanterns are positioned around the forge, you can see that there's like again on the rooftop on one side, on the other side, there's like a shadow being cast on the street as you're riding up. That seems like there's someone there on both buildings around the forge.
Can I try and maneuver the like back of the carriage so it's like right up against the door, so they can just like open it and hop in, and then we can go, or like against a window or something?
Sure, you can. You wanna try this with animal handling just to see how the horses are doing with that maneuver? Yeah.
That
Back
was
it
my
up.
nat 1 dice, so we're gonna do a different one.
Dice jail.
Breaks the door. Crashes into the forge.
Mocking does freak out.
That's a 7. So
Yeah, you back into the building a little bit, and you guys can hear just a loud like funk.
Get down! They're talking!
I like knock on the window and be like, "Hey, are you ready to go?"
Oh, Jesus. I like slowly open the shutters a little and see that it's Al, and I open them and open the window. You scared the living shit out of us.
Hey, there's people up on the roof. Is that about you? Okay.
Are you ready to get out of here?
Monty, are you ready?
I'm almost ready, and I'm making like the finishing touches on the halberd, and cleaning it off, and I just want to finish describing it. The finishing touches, the like pointy part is like a nice spiral, and then the actual like blade parts, one side is a crescent moon, and then the other side is like a half setting sun. So it's like, yeah. And it's
What?
pretty. Okay, now I'm ready. And I put it behind me.
We are climbing through the window on into the carriage.
Yeah, the door is a little bit blocked by the carriage driving into the wall.
Monty, can you drive the carriage?
Yes. Wait, who was driving before?
Al.
Okay, never again.
Did okay.
Oh, wait, we have to return this key to Victoria.
Oh no.
Just leave it on the mat.
No.
No.
I
I can throw really far.
um I can like we can ride into town. I can shapeshift and then hop out, go over, drop it off at Victoria's, and then you guys can pick me up somewhere.
Okay.
Shapeshift? Oh.
Yeah, we remember
That's
she
your whole
showed
thing.
us this.
I
Yeah.
thought you meant like turn into a horse or something.
Okay.
I mean, the council meeting just ended, so she could be back like any minute. We could just leave it with a note. I don't think they'll break in if we're leaving.
That's true.
I don't know.
Just scribble something on a
could
napkin.
wait. Oh, but it might. Okay, you know what? I will. All right, let's just leave it under the mat because I'm afraid of coming in contact with her.
Okay.
Before I leave the forge, can I just take a couple pieces of scrap metal just to have on me? Just from like any piece of metal works. Okay, I'll take a couple.
Can one of you do me a favor and just like peek around the alleyway?
What am I looking for?
Is there anything beyond the alleyway from earlier?
No one in the alleyway. It seems like there's the people up on the rooftops, but there's no one directly behind.
Okay.
We're all good. There's only people on roofs.
Okay, I'm climbing out the window into the carriage as quickly as possible.
And you're leaving. You're leaving the key under the mat.
Yes.
With a note.
Okay, locking up and leaving it under the mat.
Someone else wrote the note.
This is the second time we've just decided that there's a mat at the front door.
Yeah. Yeah, it says welcome to the forge.
It's the last. It's like, it's from the last issue of like the Forge calendar. You know, they had mats going for that.
Let's get the hell out of here.
Agreed.
Oh, Victoria was gonna make me a new weapon. I left my mace at the old house. I don't have anything now.
Well, Sonder, I actually spent some time making this for you. And I hold it out to you, and I clutch it, and I give it Blessing of the Forge. So it's a +1 magical weapon for the day. For the day, but this is for you.
You didn't.
I did.
You didn't. Oh my! Can I?
Go for it.
Oh! This is so cool. I'm gonna jump into like the, I guess like passenger seat, so that I can like pretend like I'm a lancer on a horse thing, and I'm like swinging it around, making sure that I'm not chopping anybody's head off because it's sort of raised and away from people, and I'm like swinging it over the horses and stuff. This is so cool. Thank you.
You're
Whoa,
welcome.
Look, it's like the sun and the moon.
Yeah,
You did that? You did
I
this?
did.
It's been like 10 minutes.
It
How
took
did
about
you-
an hour, but yeah.
Oh. Well, this is a... Thank you so much, Monty. This is amazing. This is so much better than the training weapon I've been using.
Well, you deserve something special, so. And I'm just watching him use it and happy and proud with my work.
Go ahead and add that to my equipment.
I am lounging in the carriage.
I'm like storing everything, like making sure it's all organized.
Okay, and you guys are heading out of town.
Yes.
Yep.
Goodbye, Venox.
Oh.
Um,
Well, you're in the carriage, making your way out, leaving the village of Venox behind you with a new life given to it, and a new counsel and a new hope for people who had not experienced such hope in a while. And a lot of friends who are going to be expecting letters.
yes!
Because a lot of friends are going to be expecting letters. And as the lights of the village just disappear behind you, you are all filled with satisfaction from the job well done. And I think with the end of the entire Venox arc, you guys get to level up again. And just the slight worry of the feeling of being
Yeah.
followed.
I would just like to say, probably in the carriage, Dresdor is looking at that pin that was left. And I have thought about what it looks like. So he's looking at the pin. It is, would have been like sort of a dark kind of obsidian color. And all of the details are done in gold. And the only thing that is on this pin is the outline of what the book was. It has all these little details in it, and in the center of it has a bright eye, and the pupils are a iridescent of a purple and bluish tones. And yeah, that would be what the pin would look like. And there is a lot of regret and worry on Drez's face. Yeah.
So where are
Drez.
we off to next, gang?
The capital, correct?
I believe so.
I think so.
Is there something you needed, Al?
I was just gonna say, just throwing it out there, that sometimes it can feel really good to throw things far away. Just absolutely hurl them, and it doesn't mean you have to stop thinking about it, but it is fun and can relieve some stress. And hurling things off of moving things is also like even better. You don't just a suggestion.
Think about it. The last time I hurled something, it was pretty important, so. Yeah. By the way, just so you guys all know, so this is the pin. If you see anybody with this is the group. I guess I've never actually told you what the group's name is. How much do you all know about gods and deities?
Only what I tell in stories.
Only ones I've
well,
seen in stories.
Well,
A little bit.
where they're from, a lot of people assume that they are kind of, uh, they're like some weird off-brand, um, Lita, or I don't know. I've written this down somewhere. Where did I write this down? Uh, they a lot of people assume that they are worshippers of Iris, but I don't believe that's true. Because again, they just worship this book, and also, why would this big, powerful god have anything to do with a stupid book? No, I don't think they are associated with them. However, they do take the imagery of eyes from her, and uh, they're, again, quite. I told Monty this earlier, they're quite perceptive, which is why I have a feeling we are going to have a hell of a time losing them. But they are called the Seekers. They dabble with things that are fate binding. They play with the strings of the future and try to bend it to their um ideals. Uh, they seem friendly and helpful in the beginning, and that's just to lure you in. So if you ever see anybody who represents this symbol, I would not trust them.
Deal.
All right.
Pinky
Anything
problem.
for the exasperators.
Yeah.
Oh, but do have a request. Whenever we get to the capital, can we go see a play? I've always wanted to see a play in an actual playhouse.
I've never seen a play. I've only heard you talk about them.
They are just my favorite thing ever.
That I would love to. Yes, let's do that. That sounds very exciting.
I'm so excited to go to the capital. Oh my gosh.
There's gonna be so many water fountains in Garden.
I've never been to the capital. I haven't been to very big places like that.
There'll be a lot of people there, right, guys? Like a lot of
Oh yeah.
people.
Oh yeah.
That would probably benefit us a lot, to be honest. Easier
All right,
to
guys.
disappear.
There's been something I haven't told you guys for a while now, but I wanted to make sure I could trust you first. And now that we're going to the capital and things are looking really good, and I feel really happy and excited about this, I Sister Anna before, and well, she's gone missing, and I've been trying to find her now for not too long, just a couple weeks, and I feel like I'm getting closer to finding her. And then when I met you guys, I got all these like stuff happened at the forge, and I felt all these warm feelings, and it just feels like I'm so close. And the people that were missing from Venox, we found them within just a couple days. So I know that I'm gonna find her, and you guys are gonna help me. And the city's a great place for that because there's a bunch of people there. Someone had to have seen her, right?
We'll
Yeah.
find her.
We'll find her.
Okay, good. And I just drive smiling, looking out.
To the capital!
Yes!
I thrust my halberd forward like I'm pointing in the direction while sitting in the passenger seat still.
Yeah.
And I think with that, we are done with today's session, and we're gonna pick up next week with your wonderful travels. There's over like I think there's over 100 miles to cover before you get to the capital. So
Very scary,
next
but
week for that.
also exciting.
Me too.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful session, everyone. Thank you, everyone who watched and stuck around. And thank you to everyone who is watching this in the future.
Yay.
We love you all, and we will see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
See you later.
Hi everyone.